I'm wonderful. I see half of me.
Yeah, no. I got you fixed now. So
Yay.
everybody who literally turned into the very beginning, they're probably thinking Alan's talking, but the screen's moving. So what I said is Sandy Beaches, Mogadishu,
Mogadishu.
postcards, but what
Very.
happened is that Sherry's what it was is that you were like in my square, and I had to get you out.
Just like those Mexicans.
Yeah, if you believe in property rights the way you should, then you need to stay in in your side.
Oh, it says no noises.
Yeah,
Can we
those people are
finish this
retarded.
now?
Don't even listen to them.
Don't listen to the
Well, that's
man.
because those people don't realize that we're actually from the future.
Oh,
Yeah,
our voices haven't caught up yet.
yeah, exactly. What it is that because you know how there's like a delay on a stream. So,
Yeah.
like when someone in the chat says, "I just saw a bird," the bird flew by like 7 days ago when we're we're on
That's
the
right.
show.
That's right. It's
Yeah,
weird when we watch yourself saying something you said a minute ago.
yeah. I want how freaky would it be for people like if you held up a newspaper and it said like whatever. Let me look at the calendar. It said like Sunday, May 12th right now on the newspaper. People would lose.
We should arrange that
We
next time we're in the future.
so right now, what you mean?
Right
Yeah,
now.
but we don't
But
have but we don't have time to go grab the paper because we're doing it.
I
So Sherry, what are we
Yes.
talking about today?
Well, we're talking about something, you know what's better than angry hate sex?
What?
What's more better than that is angry hate watching Game of Thrones. That's what we're talking about. I think people are enjoying that much more than even angry hate sex
This
because
is
it's so bad.
this is really hard because anything I say, I don't want to give spoilers. Because I'm not one of those people who likes to
Jackass.
surprise people with sport. Yeah, that's really a dick move. We used to call that an RDM where I'm from. We call
Real
that an
dick move.
RDM, a real dick move. Yeah,
Well, there are
yeah,
some real dicks out there.
yeah. So we're not gonna do that. But I'm gonna make this has been our favorite analogy. You already know it, but I'm telling you. So you ready?
I'm
So
ready.
you remember how in Return of the Jedi when Luke decides he wants when Luke decides, I know you've already heard it, but you have to pretend you've never heard this before.
Pretending.
Okay. So in Return of the Jedi, when Luke decides he wants to try to save his father, of course, his father's not like literally in danger. It's the metaphorical. His father has fallen to the dark side. He wants, and
Uh-huh.
so he turns himself in, and Vader takes Luke to the Emperor, and they're on the Death Star and all that stuff. And then Luke tosses his lightsaber away, and he's like, I'm not gonna do nothing. And then the Emperor's like, all right, well, I'm gonna kill you then. And he's electrocuting Luke, and Vader looks at Luke, and he looks back at the Emperor, then he looks down at Luke, and even though it's a mask and you can't even see a human's expression, like you can feel the tension of his
Yes.
mind. And right then, an Ewok that had stowed away on Luke's shuttle runs up and stabs the Emperor with his little Ewok spear, and the Emperor dies. And then it just rolls credits.
Oh my gosh.
In fact,
I can't.
hold on. I'm gonna go a step further. You don't even find out what happened to the fleet or the people down on Endor. It just rolls credits. That's
Well,
the movie.
right. Like nothing else. Nothing else happened, guys. That was the end. They all exploded.
I know that there's some people thinking, well, Return of the Jedi wasn't as good as Empire anyway, so who even gives a shit? But that's
I
not the
mean,
point. The point is that you were invested though, right? Like you needed a conclusion
yes,
story.
yes. You have to wrap it up, and I think that's.
Yes.
I have not actually seen Game of Thrones yet. I'm going to binge watch it the
Season
week
8.
before the. Yes, season
Yeah.
8. I've seen the other seasons.
Yeah, you've seen
Uh,
the show, just not season
yes.
8. Yeah.
So I'm going to binge watch and then watch the last one on the night it shows.
Yeah.
So all of my horror will be fresh when,
Yeah.
when it happens. I'm just going to start looking, though, to see what random things I can find in the background. They're like, oh, there's a dog bowl. It says Fido on it.
Oh, there's a Starbucks cup. Yeah.
There's a sales.
Yeah.
Like that to me, they're just done with this, and it's like I don't know. I almost feel like they've given a big fu to the fans. Like, yes, you've invested 9 years of your life into this, and we don't care. We're done with it now. We've made all our money. Thank you for your service. Goodbye. Adieu.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and that's, I mean, it seems
Oh
so
man.
disrespectful to the fans because that's what I don't think they realize. Like, they're just having a grand old time being shitty because they're shitty writers and not very creative. But the fans are invested in the story, especially if you read the books. I mean, which I made the conscious decision not to read the books before I watched the show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because I forgot about it, but after the show had already started. About the
But you're gonna read the books. You just want to watch the show first, start to
yeah,
finish, and then do the book start to finish. Which, of course, is a trick question because what we really mean is books from start to wherever they're at.
yeah.
Because
Davos. And they go to Davos, and we'll never hear from them again.
Dorn, you keep saying Davos. It's
Dorne.
Dorn.
I like have it. Dorne. Yes, Dorne is the place. Davos is the man.
How dare you not know everything about the world of Ice and Fire like I do? How dare you?
It's been like months since I've seen the show, and so you know how my
You
brain
know
is.
what? It's been months since the rest of us has seen the show too. We're still waiting
You
for it
know,
to air.
you know who else has been a long time since we've seen
Who?
Ghost.
Just don't fucking start with me.
There's Ghost.
You haven't even seen the show this year. Don't start with me about
And
where Ghost is and why we haven't seen him. Everybody knows we haven't seen him. We've seen him now. But if you're wondering where he was the whole time, the answer is Dorne.
Dorne.
He was
He's
in
in Dorne.
Dorne. Yeah. On a
One is in Dorne.
yeah.
The end.
There's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
And so I also made another analogy. I love making Star Wars analogies.
Yes.
It's so that we can understand one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It communicates to me and most people.
So you know how in A New Hope, when Luke is making his trench run on the Death Star, but there's not a lot of rebel forces left, so he's kind of alone out there. And then Vader and his wingman are closing in on Luke. But then Han comes out of nowhere in the Millennium Falcon because I mean, look, there's bad writing in Star Wars too, but shh. And then yeah, he's like, let's blow this thing and go home.
Oh, this popsicle stand.
So imagine, so up to where Luke is in the trench is the same. And you're thinking to yourself, like, in fact, you've seen the movie, so this is actually a remake. This is a remake of Star Wars, God forbid. And you're waiting for Luke to show, or you're waiting for Han to show up and cover Luke's trench run. But there's only 2 episodes left. And you're starting to think, I don't think Han's coming.
Right.
That's where we are in the show right now, where there's basically only like a couple of hours of film left. And you're starting to think, I don't think they can turn this thing around in 2 hours.
Right. We're never going to know what happens with the rebellion.
Yeah. It just...
That's it.
Because it doesn't matter what they do now, because there's just not enough time to logically pave the road.
Right.
Like, there's just not enough time.
Yeah. And or it's this. Han comes in one of those vans that they sell ice cream in.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be expecting that, right?
It would subvert your expectations. That's
yes.
What we need to do, we need to have more cool effects and stuff like Sports Ball, where someone says the secret word and then a bunch of alarms will go off, like Pee Wee Herman. Yeah. Like, oh, she said it. She said subvert expectations. Ah.
Yeah, that was a good show. That was like,
you know what?
I like the show.
I'm not saying that Pee Wee Herman was better than Game of Thrones, but what I'm saying is that it was a consistent performance.
Right. You knew what you were going to
get. Exactly. You knew what you were going to get, and they delivered pretty much on that every week.
I feel like they're saying, when they say we want to subvert their expectations, like, that's just so, again, disrespectful, because it's not about a twist that would make the story better. It's just about a twist. It's like so shallow.
Mhm.
And I feel like they're saying a big F you. Like subverting your expectations is code for F you, fans. Like you know, we're gonna ruin this and we're gonna make you cry and we're gonna love it. We're gonna laugh. Ha 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 ha. Stupid nerds.
I think that when a bad writer reads a book or watches a movie that has a really awesome twist in it, that makes them think that twist equals good. But no, only a good twist is good, not
Right.
just a twist. It has to be good for it to be good.
Right.
You have to be a libertarian to be a libertarian.
That's
You
right.
have to understand the non-aggression principle, involuntary exchange without coercion. That's a
Yes.
libertarian. When you
If
say
you
when you say I kind of get that, but we should also protect Israel. Okay, that's not that's not a libertarian. When you say okay, I kind of get non-aggression, but we really need to take care of the poor and make sure healthcare is affordable, and we'll do
right.
it with the state. That's not libertarian.
Right. I think we've gone over this before, but if Ben Shapiro
Mm-hmm.
or Jason Stapleton are your favorite libertarians,
Uh
you're not
oh,
libertarian.
bad news. Yeah, dude.
I've never heard any real libertarian go, man, that Ben Shapiro is my favorite libertarian. Man, hoorah, Jason Stapleton.
So,
Yeah.
I just want to
Daniel.
before I continue our rant, I want to check in with chat. I know
Yeah.
you saw
I have
Daniel.
one.
We skipped Daniel. He doesn't count. He's not a fan. He's a part of behind the scenes. He doesn't count.
His comment is on point though. That the song of Fire and Ice is like masturbating in an adult theater.
That
Because Pee Wee Herman.
that's not even the. I no, I was looking at the comment where Daniel said that that's a huge improvement over the crap that was Return of the Jedi. Logan Denny says Ewoks are the Vietnamese farmers of the Star Wars universe.
I think Logan, like he might be honorary, you know, on the troll with us because he is laying down every week consistently some pretty fantastic comments. You're one of us, Logan. You're one of us.
So Dan is actually like he's the man on the street. He's giving us why the show does what it does. You want to know why they've made the decisions they've made on the show? I'll tell you
No.
why. Because Daniel Blanchett says that Dorn chick is hot.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah. But they're not showing Dorne. Dorne doesn't exist anymore. It's Atlantis. It fell into the sea with Ghost and everyone else that they're never going to tell us anything else about. So
It's over.
there you have.
The show's over.
Now you know
Well,
the rest of the story.
we have to move on to our next topic because we can't actually talk about Thrones, like we can't actually dissect it because somebody here hasn't watched the damn show this year. So I'm just saying that Falcon's new Captain America.
What's our next topic, Alan Moselli?
Well, whatever it is you wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, they had that article that if you don't like the Kardashians, you hate yourself.
Okay, no,
So, Alan,
no,
the science
Sherry,
settled.
no. We're not talking about that because you posted that on Facebook and you got into a fight with a neckbeard. What you're really wanting to do is you're just wanting to yell at the neckbeard again. So, okay, so since I yelled at Dan and Dave because they literally destroyed like 20 years worth the creative art of Game of Thrones, I'll let you yell at the neckbeard for a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the neckbeard's point?
That let's see. One of his points was that apparently I don't know how. Well, he said first, how was the money stolen? Because I said, you know, they're using the stolen money for great things, great research. So we should be happy about
And you
that,
were being
right?
sarcastic.
Of course.
Yes.
And he's like, so how was the money stolen? And the Kardashians are an important family, and if you need to just recognize that. So I'm like, the money's stolen. Public universities, public money, it's stolen. And then I don't apparently know how research happens and blah, blah, blah. That really isn't the reason I wanted to talk about it, though. I want to talk about it because it's ridiculous. like if I don't like somebody with the big ass because they're famous and
Mm-hmm.
important to fourth wave feminism,
Mm-hmm.
then I hate myself. What?
Yeah. I feel like we're treading on a fine line between it's going to become a woman thing now. Like
What?
you're not celebrating the advancement of women because you're attacking another woman.
Oh, right, right. That's right. I forgot. My
Yeah.
vagina chains me to other women. And
Yeah.
I may not make a derogatory statement. Yes, they act like that.
I just want to say really quick. So Dan is trying to defend his decision on the Dorn chick being hot but instead we get that Iron Islands cow. So first of all, Yara Greyjoy isn't exactly a cow.
I,
She's not as
she's
hot as the
not.
chick from
Are
Dorne, but she's not obese or anything. Cow in my mind means like she's a big woman.
you calling me fat?
Jesus Christ. And Dan also says, but Sherry, you do hate yourself.
That is true.
So
Yeah. I mean, I'm a terrible person, so
all right, well I'm closing chat because I can't look at Dan. He's Dan. Dan
I
is
tend
Dan is subverting our expectations by taking over this episode, so I'm not reading
to.
comments.
He just says titties.
It just says titties, yeah. And I
Yeah.
was checking to
I
see who laughed at it because they should also be banned
I
co-hosts.
laugh.
So you're
Yeah.
banned. So
I mean, I get banned from a lot of places. That's nothing new.
yeah.
You ain't scaring me. I ain't a scared. Oh.
You know.
So
Oh, so
what
you.
about the location of these countries in Game of Thrones?
What do you mean the location of the
Like,
countries?
has the world actually, the plates have shifted? There's been a
They
huge tectonic event.
there has been, but King's Landing is a city, of course, not a country.
Okay,
King's
well, I
Landing's
didn't
the
know what it changed. I just heard that it changed.
yeah. No, I sent you the picture. King's Landing
Yes,
literally
I did.
moved 400 miles northwest. Literally, it moved.
It's like what was that guy, the illusionist that did like move the Statue of Liberty?
Oh
He was all
God. Yeah,
fancy.
who was the yeah
He had There was like a Dickens book with the same
David
name.
Copperfield.
David Copperfield.
Yeah,
That dude is like consulting on
yeah. David.
the
So David Copperfield was like the mainstream normie magician there for like a decade. Remember that?
and he always had like a silk shirt with
Yeah,
tight buttons, like it was really low V-neck, and he would do these like, you know,
yeah, yeah. Wait, hold on. Do that again. I missed it. Oh, okay, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, that's because I'm what the magicians would say is that he's drawing your attention away from the trick. What it actually is that in the 90s people were retarded. It's
How has that changed from today, though?
No, I
That's what
didn't
I
say
want to know.
people in the 2000s aren't retarded. I just said in the 90s people were retarded. I mean, like Steven Crowder, like changed my mind. People in the
Yeah.
90s were retarded.
Well, all you need to know in order to know that that is the truth
Hmm.
is look back at the clothes we used to wear,
Yeah.
and you will see we were dumb.
Yeah.
We were really stupid.
Well, okay. So what you were mentioning is that and people just found this out. So King's Landing kind of looked sort of cheap and shitty in the show now, and people are like, "But King's Landing's been in the show before." A
Right?
lot over several
So
seasons. We've
they
seen
should
it.
have
You
all
can't change it because we already have its visual. And so remember there was a giant battle episode called the Battle of the Blackwater where a whole bunch of ships sailed up to King's Landing. That's because
Yes.
King's Landing is on the sea. It has a port. There's like an inlet.
Right.
But not anymore. Because now, if you look at the map that they have now, there's like a forest right there and then the city and the sea is on the other side. It's just no longer on the sea. It just isn't.
That's like living in, you know, Habsburg on the Sea.
And there's
And
also you might remember this too. So like next to King's Landing, there's kind of like there's like a bluff and a really tall hill and then some trees. So it's kind of like rolling hills with one really tall plateau and the
and
city's
then
nestled in right there next to the water.
yeah,
And like remember Bronn was up on a hill and he shot the arrow and it lit all the wildfire on fire and stuff.
right?
Now it's just a flat plain with no trees within like 5 miles of the city gates.
If there's been a dimensional shift or something. I am of the opinion that the last episode is gonna end with aliens. It's gonna be alien. They're just gonna say aliens and the end. They're gonna get that dude with the hair to say aliens, and that's how they're wrapping it up.
You're changing your
They
camera
trans-
again. I can't even deal.
uh, sorry,
You're
they
you're just
transported them.
you're just resizing yourself all the time.
Oh, I wish that were true.
Yeah. So I
Big.
wish I could say, Sherry, that's silly. That won't happen. But at this point, I'm learning to keep my mouth shut, lest there be aliens. I'm not.
Yes, yes.
I have no
I
more
mean,
predictions.
or this is another thing that we discussed the comet that was in season one.
Yes. So there's a red.
That
Yes.
yes, that was kind of foreshadowing. It's what it's going to do is foreshadow that's going to hit in the last episode in the last minute, destroy everything. Roll credits.
Hmm.
You know what happens to everyone in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
It's
It's
big
they're actually
crater, smoking crater.
they're actually going to do a fusion where the final scene is just it's just a reimagining of the final scene from the sitcom Dinosaurs. But instead of them, it'll be like John and Danny and Tyrion will be the baby,
Right.
and it'll just be that scene again.
Didn't one of those nighttime soap operas like Knots Landing or Dynasty or something, didn't that end with the dude waking up like he woke up from a sleep and that was it? And I
Oh,
think the Bob Newhart show ended with
yes, it did.
Newhart ended with him waking up beside Joanna, what's her face? That was the
Hmm.
actress who played his wife on Newhart, the Bob Newhart show. That was pretty funny because Bob Newhart is hilarious.
But at least that's supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be a political drama. It's not supposed to be like that. Like if there's actually like a laugh track and claps at the end. So I actually consider that a nap violation, and D&D should be strafed.
You're actually gonna see Fonzie jump a shark out in the forest.
I can't.
But it's too late. The thing is that they didn't even recognize that they jumped the shark like 3 seasons ago. They're only doing it at the very end.
So that's okay. So this is the last thing we're gonna say, and we're not gonna talk about Game of Thrones until it's over and you've seen it. Like when we all catch up and the final episode is done, we'll talk about it one more time. The last thing I'm gonna say is yes, there is something to be said for the people that just now, just this season, and just in the last week or so, have said, guys, I'm not sure I like the direction this Game of Thrones is going. And the rest
The
of us
fanboys.
and the rest of us over here in, 2014 are like, you don't say. You don't fucking say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to come with me, son. Let me show you a thing or two.
So I'm
It's
back.
called season
So I'm back.
4.
So I'm back on Book Watch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Book
I
Watch.
think he's gonna have a heart attack and die before the books get finished.
Well, I know that we know somebody. I know that we know somebody named Dan. He thinks that he has no hope.
Yes, because
yeah.
that happened to him. Like he had a book series that he loved. I don't remember what it was called.
Who hurt you, Daniel?
Right, show us on the doll. Yeah, so he says he'll never read another book series that is not completely finished because it broke his heart. He was devastated utterly. I understand that. Like if that would have happened to the Dark Tower series, or Dune series, which sort of kind of was what happened, but in a way, they keep writing them. Yeah.
No,
Oh, brother.
I'm stalling because I have to resize your camera again.
Again? Yeah. He said it didn't break his heart. He just wasted years on it. Kind of like what you're feeling right now with Game of Thrones. And I was super excited for this next season. And I have to say, the delightful Ellen Mosley has shown me the error of my ways.
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah. I had a come to atheist Jesus moment. And now I know that it's gonna suck, and I probably shouldn't even watch it. Except for I need to be able to talk to all the other people who have PTSD from watching it.
Did you hear that?
Was it Dorne calling?
It's our ride. We're heading to Dorne. Postcards from Dorne is what we're gonna do the week that the
Yeah.
show's over, and
Yes.
we're doing our one last review.
Yeah.
I
It's
think we
gonna
should.
be.
I think we should do more pop culture.
I think so too.
So that'll be kind of a test, and it's gonna be the postcards from Somalia logo, but we're gonna actually say our Dorne because Somalia and Dorne look a lot alike actually.
They do actually. There's lots
So
of sand.
yeah, so it actually really we don't even have to change anything else in the background. It's all good.
Yeah.
Um, that's the last thing I was the last thing I was gonna say on that, and then I'm done talking about Game of Thrones until
Okay.
a couple of weeks from now. Is
This is my last comment. Oh, you have. I thought you said you just finished. Go ahead,
no
Alan Mosley.
is all like you people don't know, like you people don't understand. Like I'm not just some normie who's watching the show to see how cool Ninja Arya is. Okay, I've read the books multiple times and all the other corresponding literature, and I've watched the show, and I've had issues with some things in the show, but I've also tried to buttress that with, but some of the actors have done such a great job that helped, right? Like
Right.
you can testify. I've told you about this, that even though there's lots of things bad in the show, sometimes things turn out actually better in the show because some of the performances have been really good.
Yes, they've got some fantastic acting.
The most damning thing that I can say about how bad the final season is that the performances just can't make up for the. They just
Wow.
can't.
I mean, and that's pretty bad because you have some really, really fantastic actors. Like it's probably been one of the best assembled casts ever. Like it's really, really good. Uh, my last comment is I think that they're going to end it. This is how they're really going to end it. They're going to have like an epilogue, and all the people you wanted to know what was going on, they're going to have like one of those
Yep.
fairy tale storybook Disney endings, and it's
Yep.
going to open up, and they're going to say, and this person went to Dorne, turn the page, and this person went to Dorne, and turn the page, and this person fell into a meat grinder, turn the page. Like it's just going to be
So
just yeah.
Blake Osborne says, "You are you people. How dare you, sir?
Oh,
How dare you? If you weren't
yeah.
such an integral part of the gold standard, you'd be fired."
You better watch it. You're going to lose your paycheck there, Blake.
Yeah. Daniel Blanchett says they're just going to end it. There is no conclusion. It just ends.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I said about the Ewok analogy. Just roll credits.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be, the aliens guy at the very first frame and then roll credits.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a 3-second show.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah. Who's that one singer that was in the show? The redheaded guy that was in the show last season.
The Irish guy. I know who you're talking about. He sings that song, I'm in love with your body.
Sure, why
What's
not?
that guy?
I don't know any of his music. I just know he's a singer.
Isn't that his name? I mean, isn't that what he sings?
Hey, useless 15-second old chat. Who's that redheaded singer he's European, right?
Not Donny Osmond. He's Irish.
Jesus Christ. I'm actually hiding that comment. Daniel's been banned. Ed Sheeran. Okay, Ed Sheeran.
Yes,
so
it came to me before it came up.
I have seen some of the edgy meme lords in talking about how bad this season is say, when will we ever find out what happened to Ed Sheeran? And the answer is he went to Dorne.
Yeah.
He got a
Dorn.
he got a big contract, and he's singing at Sunspear now.
Yeah. Dorn.
Yeah. Now, Blake says Rick Astley, and Dan says Donny Osmond, Ed Sheeran, and then Donny Osmond again.
He's such a dick.
I know. This is why we can't have nice things
Yeah.
right there.
Like Daniel Blanchett has gained quite a reputation around the
Yeah.
Facebook for his
Yeah.
comments.
I complimented Dan, even though now he's being retarded. I complimented Dan because I said that I only follow Dan on Facebook for one reason, and it's that whatever the thread's about, no matter who's talking to who, it always ends up with Dan, with someone saying, "Fix your own country," and Dan replying, "I can't. It's destroyed by the drug war." All of them. It could be about abortion.
Right.
It could be about electric cars. It could be about Game of Thrones, and it ends up with Dan saying, "We can't. It was destroyed by the drug war." So Westeros was destroyed by the drug war, so we have to all go to Dorne.
Happened to Dorne.
Yeah, Dorne was destroyed by the drug war, so that's why they're moving north. That's why.
Right.
Yeah.
Americans invaded Dorne for drugs.
Yeah.
To protect drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They blew it up instead.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to stop. What do you think?
I think so too.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Postcards from Somalia. We are a proud product of Little L Productions, along with such other fine programming as The Gold Standard with Alan Mosley, now with less Ron Paul. So it's tanked. That show's dead.
Downhill from here.
Yeah. Well, we tried to rebound with Michael Bolton, and he just came on angry and yelled at everyone.
An angry Michael Bolton is not scary. Sorry.
It was fun, though.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's Sports Ball with Mike and Alan. There's Godarchy with Mike Maharry, which, by the way, I told him today, his show, like, we're going to do a troll week where, like, maybe next April 1st, all of our episodes will all be troll. So his it's going to be God and Friends.
God and Friends.
So that week we're going to have Sherry and Friends, Mike and Friends, Alan and Friends, God and Friends, and there's also going to be Sports with Friends. Sports with Friends.
Sports with God, with Atheist Jesus. There you go.
Sports with God and Atheist Jesus. That's exactly right.
It's a show.
And of course, no, Dan, I didn't fire Ron Paul, but he certainly had enough of us. And of course, there's the Sherry Voluntary Show, starring Daniel Blanchett. Yeah, I
just sit in his stead.
Yeah, one week he should do your show, and you should be running like OBS.
Yeah. Oh, we won't have a show. Although, he can sit behind me and, like, I'll be the puppet and he's the ventriloquist, or he's a Svengali.
That's racist.
Okay.
You're racist. Oh, man. So, you know where you can have this type of content live and join in with us in real time is if you go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/postcards from Somalia. Then you could have joined in with the chat, just as you've been hearing right now.
You can see the terrible mean comments.
That's right. Exactly so. But if you want to join next week, you have to be here on Monday at 8 Central, 9 Eastern at facebook.com/postcards from Somalia. So do you have anything else?
No.
That we've extinguished your knowledge of Spanish is sí, and then no.
I can say "besame culo," which is a bad phrase.
Well, then, like, we need more reasons to get banned. You're culturally appropriating their bad phrases.
Papa. I know a lot of vegetables.
I know a lot of vegetables too. They're in the Libertarian Party. So on that note, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.